Okay, I started the recording. I'm going to go ahead and get started tonight. Thank you all for joining. I kind of scrambled to get a topic in. I've been a little crazy at work lately and didn't get a chance to reach out to some guys that I wanted to get invited. So what I wanted to talk tonight about is just some of the crazy stuff that can happen on some of our kick plays. You know, we spend a lot of time preparing mechanics for scrimmage downs, passes, runs. And then we see the craziness that happens on kickoffs and punts and field goals, and we don't see them enough to really have a good understanding. So I like how film gives us a chance to look at some crazy stuff. So first one I want to show you is just to prepare for crazy of crazy. Not sure where this film came from, but we're going to start off. I'm going to lay this out for you, and it's going to stop at a lot of points in this. It just has craziness on a punt play. So I think I see third down and long, and they're punting it from the goal line. So they're punting it on third down, which is already interesting. So we got third down punt. I should say this. They're not in punt formation, but the quarterback tosses it to the punter who's back here taking a quick kick. He's going to kick it. It's a terrible kick. Gets blocked. And I'm noting that we've got an ineligible downfield. You just got to trust me that he was lined up, covered up. He had no idea what was going to happen next. But we've got potential for an ineligible downfield. Obviously, if it's kicked, it doesn't matter. If it's just a regular kick, doesn't matter. This ball gets kicked into a defensive player, ricochets back into the end zone. Now we're going to watch this B player. I don't think it's a block in the back. Looks like a good shoulder block right here, but it finishes like he falls flat, like it could have been. All the while, I'm just looking at referees. What are we doing in this play? Referee is in that, what the heck do I do? Do I cover goal line, end line? Because we're snapping it from the 10-yard line, so the referee has the goal line. So he's got dual responsibility here. He's seeing a bunch of chaos. It could be a touchdown, could be a safety. He's got a lot going on. Ball is picked up by – I meant to stop that. Hold on. I'm going to go back. Okay, that's the kick. Is blocked. I'm pointing out the ineligible possibly downfield if there's a pass later, which there turns out to be. We got a potential block in the back right there. Referee is on the goal line. He's also got inline responsibility, a lot going on. The punter now decides to pass the ball downfield. So it was a toss by the quarterback back to the punter, blocked punt. Now it's going to be passed downfield, and that's why that ineligible covered up player is a factor. He throws the ball. We might have roughing the passer after the fact. Marginal, but I'm pointing out just chaos here. Excellent job by a head linesman to be aware of, hey, I got all sorts of real estate here I need to cover. I might help with the goal line. So good thing he does. But keep in mind that head linesman's got responsibility for that line of scrimmage. I know in this case, the umpire has now had enough time to move towards the line of scrimmage. But and I guess because it was third down, maybe he was aware that it was not going to be a punt or didn't think it would be a punt. Now we've got, and it wouldn't, so now we've got, it's not illegal touching because it's a pass, but now we've got the potential for a pass interference by the receiver. I don't think we have that there, but it's a potential. Now and this is where I try to be entertaining in these. I say, what the blank just happened here? We're going to use the clock stop signal, even though it's completed pass on third down, short of the line to gain. So we actually have, the clock should just run because it's a completed pass.
Just get on the line and go. Get on the line and go.
Now we've got the coach on the far sideline saying, I got some questions here. What the hell just happened? I gotta have a conversation here. We gotta talk about, I got a hat off here.
The pass was made.
There's some scratching going on the head. We got to talk about this. Does anybody have any clue what just happened? Let's come together and talk about this. We've either got
This completes another one, Herschel Craig.
fourth down, and now it looks like about at least 10. There's my humor here. Want to get away, Southwest Airlines. Pretty clean if you think about it. It's just a completed pass, although we did have an ineligible downfield if somebody had it. Are you sure we didn't have an IW? Because that would help us out here. Let's just replay the down. Again, smart aleck comment here by your host. Lots of conversations. Still, the headlinesman kind of knows what went on. He was able to see it from a distance. We got fourth down. Crazy enough, we've got an injured player back here, and nobody had a clue because there's so much head scratching going on trying to figure out what just happened. So my point of this evening is punts, kickoff, field goals. It can be a nightmare. These guys got that one right. May have missed a couple fouls, but all in all, I think they got it right. And it's now fourth down and short. So I'm going to this play is, some of you have seen it if you've been around a while. This one made the news, and I'll stop it and describe what's going on here. This was actually a TV video situation. So we're going to have, you see, it's like 37 seconds left. The offensive team runs the ball up the middle. Clock is winding down at the end of the game. The offense is now going to hurry up. It's now third down and about 5 or 6 yards. We're going to tee it. No, it looks like it's more than that. It looks like it's 3rd and 8. We're going to tee it up for a last second field goal as clock runs out. Got no timeouts. Blocked. Oh, caught by a lineman. Tackled behind the line to gain. So they didn't make the first down. So the wing comes in, killing the clock. Right now, you're going to see the referees come together and say, wait a second, it's fourth down. That ball was caught in the field of play. Why did we stop the clock? We still have it down. The offense can still run a play. The clock should have been running because it was third down. The celebrations that are occurring are premature. Now we're going to let the offense get reset and kick the ball again. We're going to wind it after they're all set on fourth down. And guess what? It's good. Kicking team wins the game on a last-second delayed clock, third down, fourth down mess up. New team celebrates. Uh-oh. And yes, that's why it made the news, and I got a copy of it. Again, my message is consistent here. Crazy stuff can happen on kicks. All right, next play, we're gonna focus on some plays here on the kickoff. And I want to caution this group, please don't throw in the what ifs. I can't deal with those. I might throw a little bit here and there to help maybe educate, but don't get me bogged down in some stuff. I want to try to get through about 20 plays real quick here during halftime. All right. Sometimes we see some razzle-dazzle kicking teams try to pretend like one guy is the kicker and the other guy kicks. What I want to show here is the only kicker eligible to kick this ball is the one that is more than 5 yards behind the ball. He's the only one eligible to kick. Since he's back there, he's the only one that can kick the ball. This guy up front cannot. The one that I got circled. Just remember that. Now, if they were both inside that 5-yard belt, either one could kick it. Doesn't matter. But because they started with this kicker deep, he is the only one to kick it. Turns out he does onside kick it. We always have to be prepared for the illegal blocks. The requirement is the ball has to hit the ground and go 10 yards before K can block B. No matter where B is, K cannot block B before that timing happens. And so in this case, we got to have some eyes ready for that to happen. And then we might have some touching going on before. Be aware of this. It is not a foul for the ball to. It is not illegal for the ball to not go 10 yards beyond. flag. All right, I'm going to keep going here. Next play. Similar, we're going to have a kickoff. We might have some more razzle dazzle. No, we don't. Hold on. So we're going to have the kicker kick a very high kick that does not go 10 yards. And so question here is, does the receiver have protection inside of that beltway? And the answer is yes. Receivers have the ability to get to that ball without any obstruction. If K touches an airborne kick that has, in other words, it hasn't hit the ground, it is fair catch interference. Unlike a punt, if there's no receiver in the area on a punt, a kicking team player can catch it in the air. That does not apply on a kickoff. K cannot be first to touch a kick that is in the air and never hit the ground. So in this case, it did not happen, but we've got to be aware of that. In this case, R ends up catching the ball at about 6 yards from the tee. All is good, gets tackled. No problem at all. I am a little concerned about our wing coming in this far. I'm always talking about mechanics. I don't like officials working on the field, especially in this situation. This ball could be run to the sideline, and then we're stuck running on the field. Stay wide. Stay wide, stay wide. You have a better view of the whole thing, too. Next play. See what we got here. Might be some more razzle-dazzle. First kid pretends to kick. The second kid kicks it deep. No issue. Other way around, we've got a foul. I guess I don't have to go over that one again. All right, this one's kind of funky, and I got a couple things I wanted to talk about. Let me advance this a little faster. So we've got oh no, where's our number 56? He's supposed to be out there. Billy, get out here. He runs through there. My question to the group with an answer, what if he's not set inside that 5-yard belt? What if they're still moving around? It's not a foul. There's no issue about moving around inside that 5-yard belt. They just have to be inside the 5-yard space between the tee, the 40-yard line, and the 35-yard line. They could still be moving around. They don't have to be set for a second. I'm going to back this up. So what happens here is that kid ends up sitting or lining up over here. Everything's good, but now we're going to see the wrong kicker kick the ball. So you're going to see this player right here. He is not legal to kick this football because they've got somebody beyond 5 yards. I'm sorry, my mistake. I thought that was one where we caught him. I think the issue there is note the offsides here. We talk about try to make the kickoff legal if you can, especially if they kick it deep. If it's an onside kick, we want to be more critical. We say give them a step. Let's not be over critical on the kickoff. In this case, I'll stop it when he kicks the ball, which is right there. Easily foul called. We should have had a flag down. I don't know if we did or not, but that's definitely a foul. All right, next play. All these special teams coordinators like to come up with something that's going to get them the ball back. So we haven't seen this much in the last 4 or 5 years since we changed the rule. I still think it's probably legal. They could be in a big cluster back here at the 40-yard line, kick the ball. And this is one where this big stampede, the ball, there's a square right there, shows you where the ball is. I think if they do this, there is a high likelihood that they're touching the ball if they're that close together. The fact that the ball did not touch anybody is very unlikely. I got a square around here, the block downfield. The ball hasn't gone 10 yards. These are tough to cover, guys, and we just all have to be ready to contribute some information. This ball barely makes it past. It's now bouncing there. Recovered by K. I think we got to call this first touching. It's hard to imagine that this was not, in fact, touched inside that cluster of bodies. Tough to rule on this. We got to be 100% certain that K gets this ball back and that they did not first touch this ball. And I can't imagine that they could have done that with that many legs flying around there. Tough play to officiate. Again, I think if we pre-snap a lot of stuff on kickoffs, you got plenty of time to think about all the craziness that might happen. You like to pre-snap things like, hey, we could have a fair catch. They could surprise onside kick. That ball might not go 10 yards. The ball might be kicked out of bounds. If it's kicked out of bounds, is my sideline the one that chooses to take it from the 35 or re-kick? All that stuff should be pre-snap so that you're ready to deal with it when it happens. Here we've got a kicker that's chasing the ball downfield. We got a block downfield. Looks like it might be recovered by K. If we don't have a ruling that we have a block beyond, and I think we do. We have this block that happens right. The ball has not gone 10, and we've got a block right here. That is a foul. Ball had not gone 10 yards yet. Again, I think in these goofy plays like this, they have to be 100% accurate and good. Another kickoff. Let's see what we got here. Kick to the sideline. Oh, I want to talk about this because, and I don't know if I can delete this little knob here. So I want to back up here. So what we're going to look at here is the kicking team design kick. I don't know if he tops this ball or not. I mean, that could be a ruling that you could have. He topped it and it bounced up. Doesn't matter how high it goes. It's where he intends to kick the ball. If he kicks it on top to get it to bounce up, it's a foul. We should immediately shut it down. But in this case, this K player jumps up, and I think in a valid attempt to get the ball, looks like he bats it forward. I don't know if I've got enough information to call it an illegal bat. Looks like we're in a prepared onside kick because I've got another official here. Possible illegal bat forward. I don't know who recovered that, but think about that you got to look for an illegal bat here too. I think it was a valid attempt to catch it, but another interesting play. Only got a couple more kicks here. Let's see what we got. Looks like we're ready for an onside. Sure enough, here it comes. Ball is bouncing right here. Looks like it goes out of bounds. One of the things I wanted to talk about on this play is think about this as we're in this onside kick preparation formation. I don't like the look of this. We've got two officials looking right down the sideline, and it's something you got to pre-snap that if that ball comes down the sideline, I think we'd be better to have this official right here. I think we'd be better to have him step into the field of play here and look into this action, because it doesn't do him any good to try to look through his fellow official at what goes on there. So maybe go ahead and get some separation out in the field. Again, there's a lot of stuff you're thinking about, trying to watch what's going on, but maybe not having two officials try to look right through that same space could be beneficial. Next play. Let's see what we got here. Oh, so this is some trickery. This is actually a pretty good onside kick setup. So when I first saw this, I thought, oh, this team pulled a player off the sideline and set him up real close to the sideline. But look what happens. Some really good trickery here. And I would not say this is a foul. And it would catch us off guard. So you're going to see all 11 players lined up. Matter of fact, they probably were scrummed together even tighter before this whole thing happened, because I'm seeing this wide guy back up. So I'm looking at this wide player on the near sideline. He walks all the way back to the sideline. And here he goes. Boom. Now, in this case, let me see if this ball hit the ground. It would have to be topped and go up, which is illegal. I believe in this case, he kicked it vertical. Could be a college game. They may have a different rule than us. This would be fair catch interference because this ball never hit the ground. K was the first to touch it. But if that ball would have been onside kick, bounced, and he caught it like that, that would be an outstanding onside kick. But in this case, we've got a foul for fair catch interference because he caught the ball in the air. Again, not sure where this game was played, but that is illegal at the high school level. Not because of his formation, but because of the catch. Okay, this is always an entertaining one. So we're going to kick off from left to right. Ball is going to bounce. It actually goes 10.2 yards, maybe even 10.1 yard. You see it right here. And then it comes back. And that is now K's ball because it hit the ground, went 10 yards, even though he recovered at the 9-yard mark. First down, K. Recovered at the 9-yard mark. We're going first down, K. All right, next play. I'm kind of tired of kickoffs. Let's see if we can get some other play in here. It's not a kickoff. No, this one's a catch. They catch this ball at the sideline just like that one play. This is also illegal in high school, so that's fair catch interference because he caught the ball in the air. It did not hit the ground. All right, now we're going to look at a couple pump plays. This is one of my favorite. I think I saw Fitzgerald on the call here. I wish this was a little clearer, but what we're going to see is 2 punts. So we're in kick formation. The red team is kicking from right to left. Punter's going to catch the ball. What appears to be a clean kick, blocked. Ball is bouncing around at the 15-yard line. Kicker picks it up and kicks it again. And crazy enough, now it's muffed by R. Scrumble for the ball. Again, one of those head scratchers. Officials coming together saying, okay, let's make sure we got all the details of this play correct. He punted it twice. Is that legal? Yes. He can punt it twice as long as he recovers the ball and kicks it from behind the line of scrimmage. Again, he could have passed it. It's all about where the recovery is of that original kick. So one of the things that I want to point out here is head linesman, we talk about releasing when the ball is kicked. I don't like that in our manual that way. I think we'd be better served to say, head linesman, don't release until you're certain the ball will not need to be determined behind the line of scrimmage or beyond the line of scrimmage by K. So stay a little longer. In this case, he stayed. That's good. Stay, watch, see what happens next. Stay at the line of scrimmage because we need to know where this is recovered because K can still advance that ball if it's recovered behind the line of scrimmage on another block kick. The other thing that head linesman's responsible for is ineligibles downfield. Our umpire is separated from the line. He's not moving to the line of scrimmage at the snap like he would on a pass. Head linesman, you've got ineligibles downfield if that ball is passed. And in this case, I see the center take off downfield. If this punter would have passed this ball instead of kicked it, we've got an ineligible downfield. Next play. I don't think I've seen two punt plays out of the backfield. This one I want to talk real quick about. I think it's good as a white hat to remind yourself you got to focus on the knee of the holder. In this case, the holder is a college game, so it doesn't have the same rules, but the holder cannot toss the ball, cannot pass it forward, cannot do anything with that, cannot hand the ball off while his knee is on the ground. If he comes up and does this off the ground, he's okay. In this case, watch the holder's knee. It stays down, tosses it to the kicker, and the kicker heads to the pylon. This is illegal in high school. It should be blown dead immediately because the holder had his knee on the ground when he did something other than hold the ball for a try. Now, I always mention that this holder, if he got a bad snap, he could come up, catch it, go back down, act like he was going to set it down, and then come back up and continue the fake play like this. As long as he's got that knee off the ground, he can do so. Next play. Another punt play from left to right. But no, he's going to pass the ball downfield, right down the middle of the field. Again, we got to be ready for everything. What happens here is, look at the formation. Even on punts, we got to make sure we know who's eligible here. This wing's got his arm off, so he's checking this wide out. I don't know if we can see what's on the top of the screen, but I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the backfield. This is back when we test drove the umpire in the backfield. So we've got a receiver right here that's going to go downfield for a pass. It looks like he's covered up, so the defense wasn't confused, but this is an illegal formation to start with. Should never have been able to move the ball downfield for first down. We should bring this back because we had an illegal formation. All right, this one's a little hard to see. I'm going to set you up here. We're going to kick from the end zone, far right. What's going to happen here is the kicked ball. I don't know if it's even possible by design that they did this on purpose, but you will see a K player catch the ball right behind the line of scrimmage, and you'll see it. It'll stop, and I'll show you where the line of scrimmage is with a line. Again, we need to keep our headlinesman at the line of scrimmage to rule on this. So I stopped it. The ball is just now coming off the kicker's foot. You can see the line of scrimmage. We've got a player standing right at the line of scrimmage, catches the ball and advances it. This is legal, believe it or not. Kicked ball caught by K as behind the line of scrimmage, caught by K and advanced for a first down. Again, I have a hard time believing it was designed this way, but as long as he's behind that neutral zone, that is a legal play. And yes, crazy. But I've only got probably a handful more here. All right, we check the near side off. Formation's good. Fourth down. Ball kicked. R thinks he's touched it. He's now trying to get handle on the football. We talk about force. Goes into the end zone. Is there any way this is a touchdown? I know I saw Hickey on this. He's the master of ruling. You cannot have a touchdown on a muffed kick unless you have a fumble, which changes it from a kick to a possessed ball, fumbled, recovered, and scored with. We see this way too many times. We see it in game reports. Back judges, ball in kick status. In other words, it hasn't been possessed, cannot be ruled a touchdown. If it crosses that goal line, it is immediately dead. It crosses the goal line. That whistle should blow. It's dead. You can't have anything but a touchback in this particular case. Let's see what we got here. Punt formation from left to right. Set you up here. Punt from left to right. Might be a similar situation. Kick ball. Muff. Scramble. Ball's still squirting all over the place. Goes into the end zone. At this point in time, there's only two options. Since the ball has not been possessed, it's either a touchdown if it's possessed by, it has to be a touchback because it was not possessed. There's only one option. It's touchback. There is no recovery in the end zone. Has to be a touchback because it was not possessed in the field of play. This back judge comes in with a safety. His wings come in to save him. Wait a second. That's still in kick status. We cannot have a safety. Has to be a touchback. Ours ball at the 20. And we see way too many plays like that. A couple more plays, and I got a couple juicy ones here at the end too, so hang with me. Wonder if this is so here we have, and I'm looking at the top of the screen now. So this is a punt play. Got a punter way deep snap. Look at this formation. Somebody is confusing somebody here. We don't know who's eligible. We got a wing that's making sure he knows what's going on, but wings, I want you to stay home. And here's a reason. We've got a screen pass coming, and you're the only one that's going to be able to rule whether these linemen are downfield, whether this ball is caught beyond the line of scrimmage or not. And my head linesman's already moved down. Stay home. Stay home, stay home, stay home until you figure out all that's going to happen here. The line judge had a wherewithal to stay tight. But again, we've got a design screen pass. I think it's to an eligible receiver. I think he's a back out of the backfield. He is. Catches the ball. Got to know who your receivers are on these plays. Sure enough, catches the ball, first down, K. All right, we're going to set up this kick formation. Oh, this is, yeah, these last two plays. Stay with me. I got two left. Okay, so what I've got coming towards you here, I'm going to back this up a little bit. So we had just a normal kick. Red team is kicking to the white team. It's another good pre-snap to think on kicks because everything is 22 players flying all over. Say to yourself, red is kicking, white's receiving. White cannot block in the back because that's what happens on these. Or BSB, white cannot BSB. Can both teams cause that foul? Sure, but it's likely to be the receiving team. White, I'm going to pay attention to you. No blocks in the back. No blindside blocks. So in this case, we've got a muffed kick picked up at the probably 3-yard line. So the question is, did his momentum carry him into the end zone? He recovers it, takes a couple steps. I think you could rule momentum. The back judge, I'm going to question the back judge's position here. Stay on the goal line, stay wide, stop at the goal. He gets caught in the middle of this. Ball is tackled right at the goal line. I'm not sure what he ruled. I think maybe he'll give it to us. You can tell by the waving of the hands. After about 3 waves of the timeout signal, I think everybody knows you're processing a whole bunch of information and you're confused. Other officials should start closing to start helping out with what just happened. You see more than 3 timeout signals, it's some confusion going on. He does toss his beanbag out to about the 2 or 3 yard line. I did see that. So he could rule momentum. And I think that's fair. You got a receiver that was catching the ball, momentum. Maybe the question is whether he got, let me take it back here. If he came out of the end zone, and I don't think he did, but the back judge was way out of position. If he's in the end zone, we're going to go momentum. He comes out of the end zone, we're going to go where he came out of the end zone. All right, last play. I believe this is last play. Another punt play. We're going to go from left to right. I think the ball is already snapped in my video. So punting from left to right, kick ball. All right, here we have a K player. Take it back to about right here. K player touches the ball. So we've got first touching at about the 3. One more time. First touching at the 3. Carries the ball into the end zone. And I'm going to make a statement. And actually, everything I said tonight, feel free to check at your area meeting. Maybe Russell's full of crap and said it wrong. Love for you guys to just research and call me out on it if I said something wrong. But in this case, we've got first touching at the 3. We got a beanbag. But the result of the play, because he caught it, he possessed it in the field of play. The end result of the play, or the end of the play, is in the end zone. This is a touchback. R has the option of the first touching at the 3 or the end of the play, which is possession that carried him into the end zone. We've got a touchback, which would be their favorite option. If I'm wrong here, feel free to either chime in the chat or send me an email. I lied. I got one more play. I want to talk about this. This also emphasizes when you kick the ball or you're punting the ball, headlinesmen stay home till you know for sure this is a windy day from left to right. Ball goes straight up in the air. I think I've got a circle for a potential foul up here. Back in the back, looks like it. But the ball bounces all the way back. I've got the line of scrimmage shown here. Headlinesman, I want you to stay home. If that wind's blowing, if there's any chance that ball can come back, he could rule the same amount of information from that line of scrimmage. There's no need to be taken off downfield too soon. This ball rolls behind the line of scrimmage, which means K can recover and advance. It's all about where K recovers a punt, whether it's beyond or behind the line of scrimmage. If it's beyond, it's first touching. If it's behind, he can advance it. The only one that can rule on that line of scrimmage there is that head linesman. We need him to be there. I'll take you back real quick so you can see it again. Punt. Wind is from left to right. Strong. Ignore the block in the back. That's not part of the story, but it is a missed foul. Ball bounces all the way back without getting touched. K has the wherewithal to pick it up and try to advance it to the line of scrimmage. All of that's legal. In this case, it's first down R at about the 20-yard line. And I think that's it. All right, with that, fellas, I appreciate you joining me. Let me stop sharing here. And thank you all for wanting to get better. Love you all. Have a good last game of the season. Appreciate you with me all year. We may try to run these a couple more times for some playoff conversation, but keep up the good work. You guys rock. Thank you again. Good night.